Welcome to part two. This is DJ Spin So Nice. These are the records that were very important to me from 2020. Records that I listened to that made a very strong connection to my life and to my family's life and to my life as a DJ. Not necessarily the ones that were produced in 2020, but just records that, moved me in 2020, helped me get through the year. First one of part two is this one. Ooh. Aphrodisiac. This is Fela Ransom Kuti in the Africa 70s. This album is called Aphrodisiac. This is an original Fela Kuti album. Look at it. It's mashed up. This is an original album that I found at work. As a crate digger, as a record collector, I hope you can understand how special this is. This came out in 1972. This is an original copy of a Fela Kuti album that I have in my collection. That means this passion of mine, this record collecting passion of mine is real. And the spirits, the ancestors, the universe, maybe Fela himself gave me a little wink, gave me a little nod. But I found this at work. I did not steal it. I found it. And I got the blessing to hold on to it. It's not even one of my favorite Fela albums, but there was a moment a couple years ago when I was DJing and another young lady was DJing and she played this album. I'd never seen this particular Fela album. Fast forward 2 years later, boom, I found it. I got a copy. I even already had a copy that I purchased. I have a reprint, but now I got the original copy. It's worth a lot of money, but that's not the point. The point is that, you don't really find rare original Fela Kuti albums every day, and I found one. And this was my moment. Song choice I would recommend for you is Chop and Quench. That's a pretty classic, hard-hitting Afrobeat song by Fela. And this is an album that I found in 2020. So 2020 was actually a pretty darn good year for me. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. So that's number 7. Number 8 is Negro Swan by Blood Orange. Okay, I'm gonna be brief because I can talk for 2 hours about Blood Orange, particularly Dev Hynes. This album came out in '98. Why is it important? Because I didn't even like it at first, because I like the other Blood Orange albums more. In particular, this one, the first one, Cupid Deluxe, and also in particular this one, Freetown Sound. We'll get to those later. Oh man. However, this past year at work during the COVID lockdown pandemic, I'm in the computer and I just kept listening to Blood Orange, specifically because of the NPR Tiny Desk concert. And I'm like, yo, let me just keep the playlist going. And then the songs on this album, like Orlando and Saint and Family and Charcoal Baby, they just started sounding better and better. And I think I'll have to make another video or maybe write a book or a couple books on why this music has so much meaning to me. But I would just say that, amazing. Cultural relevance, this guy, he does his very best to incorporate a lot of progressive black artists into his music, whether they're other singers, not even just black artists. He has Nelly Furtado working with him. He has amazing artists, but, I learned a lot from him. So, for example, I'll give you 2 names. He has Melanie Matsoukas, the director, doing commentary on this album, but he also has the amazing singer Ian Isaiah on his album doing vocals. And my choice is Holy Will. Song choice, Holy Will. Because Holy Will is a cover from, the Clark Sisters. Hold on. Holy Will. And a smile. Holy Will is a cover of the Clark Sisters song, Holy Will. This is how I first learned about the Clark Sisters, from listening to Blood Orange. That's the cultural relevance for me. He is not afraid to go so deep. So this is the next pick. 7, 8. Okay, number 9. Blood Orange again. Now this is again, out of the 3 albums that he's produced, I like the first one the best. This one was the first one that I got, and I kind of got reacquainted with this album. Now I want to say something. The track, okay, why is it important? Because I would say the Pan-Africanism that Dev Hynes really incorporates effortlessly in his music. Freetown Sound, we're talking about Sierra Leone. He is a British, African Caribbean artist, cellist, multi-instrumentalist, but he's now based in New York City. And it goes very, very deep. And so, he also brings in a lot of his new wave, funk, R&B connected to experiences that we go through. So Hands Up is a very important track where he references the protest, the Black Lives Matter protest that we are still involved in. We're still connected to those vibrations, fighting for the lives of Breonna Taylor, Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner, the list goes on and on. But this album has a fall, autumn season sound because it's very melancholy. So the song that I'm going to select and suggest is actually Hadron Collider. And we're going to keep it back to Canada because that's a song that features Nelly Furtado. And also Best to You. I forgot the name of the singer, but check out Best to You featuring another vocalist and Hadron Collider. And so that's all I'll say about that. Again, I could talk too much about Blood Orange. I'm trying to keep it brief, even though I know I'm rambling. And hopefully you are getting some good suggestions. Next one, Cupid Deluxe, Blood Orange. This is the first Blood Orange album. Okay, so we got all 3 that are in my list because I'm telling you, my daughters will, bear witness. I play this music all the time. We got turntable set up over there in the playroom, and I just keep it going on repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. So why is this important to me? Because sometimes if music touches your spirit, you gotta just appreciate that. So that's all I'll say about this. All the songs here are a combination of funk, R&B, and new wave. So for example, the song Chosen, which is one of my favorite songs in the album, I think it's kind of a direct ripoff of Drive by the Cars, but it's such a dope ripoff. And the intro with the French lady, ooh, man, I can go on and on. Also on the line, but you know what? Another thing is High Street. So for example, shout out to Drake, Oliver, and 40, and everyone at OVO for, embracing Skepta and all the UK brothers on their albums, on their music. But I was first introduced to Skepta from this album on a track called High Street. So that's the song that I would recommend, High Street. Again, it's very melancholy, but it's very deep. And Skepta's verse is just excellent. So that's that. We talked about why it's important, culture relevance, and song selection. Okay, cool. Boom. We got 2 more to go. And I was blabbing earlier on about album of the year. I said my rap album of the year is Benny the Butcher, Burden of Proof. My favorite album of the year was Burna Boy, African Giant. I gotta amend that, because I would say my album of the year 2020 is this one. Ooh, look at this record. Got this off Bandcamp. I paid $80 for this record, and it's worth every penny. This is Salt. Whew. This is Salt. The album is called Untitled Black Is. Salt is a collective of producers and musicians. The producer is called Inflow. You need to go on Bandcamp, check out Salt, S-A-U-L-T. How can I speak about this in a brief tone? Why is this album important? Because it connects really brilliant R&B, soul, African music with the climate of Pan-African struggle, celebration, and everything that we're going through in an amazing way. It's not fake. It's so cool. It's so deep. Every song. So it's so what is it? What does it sound like? This is my little tiny review. Um, you got soul, you got R&B, you got Michael Kiwanuka and Little Sister and all these artists making a bunch of different kind of tracks with samples that have a combination of very raw, emotional R&B songs such as Wildfires or Sorry Ain't Enough, with kind of upbeat like Fela Kuti protest Afrobeat music like such as Don't Shoot Guns Down, and more and more and more. This is a really impressive audio experience. My favorite album of 2020. I had no idea who these guys were, and then I come home and it's in pandemic time and everyone's home. My wife is listening to this. So what is that? She said, that's salt. And then another song comes on. What is that? That's salt. Then another song comes on. What is that? That's salt. Because all the songs sound different. Produced by Inflow, Salt, Untitled, Black Is. This was my favorite album of the whole year. Number 12 is Terawack. Whack World. Look at this. The cool little. Look at this. I'll show you. This is Terawack. Terawack is a dope rapper from Philly, but she's also a dope singer, also a dope artist. We listen to Terawack at home a lot. My daughter, the baby, 2 years old, she also says, "Can you play Terawack?" I learned about Terawack from my wife. She is a very kind of creative, intense, but also very funny, humorous rapper who can sing and who can do every kind of rap you can imagine. But she's also really fun. Now, this album is an EP because all the songs are dope. They're a combination of, they range from like, trap beats to kind of funny rap to singing to emotional stuff. She's almost like Chance the Rapper where she can get into every lane. But every song is only about a minute and a half long. I don't know why. I wish they were longer. That's why the record is so tiny. But that's the cultural relevance of Terawack. Anytime you have a black female artist who is being honest, being original, and is not putting herself in the box of just being a sexualized object, that's very important. And Terawack is also inspiring to me, my daughters, my wife. So it's important because it brings the family together. That's why it's important. The cultural relevance is kind of cool too because Philly can't lose when it comes to rappers, and I think Terawack is probably the most creative rapper out of Philly and one of the most creative artists that's on the market today. Now, the song I would choose is called Fruit Salad. Ooh, that's a dope song. I'm bouncing my shoulders to it already. That's it. So that's my 12 songs of 12 records of 2020 that inspired me. And it's very important, if you're inspired by music, you're inspired by your albums. Yeah, that's what you should celebrate. Check out Spin So Nice Radio. You can check me out on Mixcloud. I got more videos coming. Please like and subscribe. Have a great 2021. I got more content coming on the way. You can hit me up at Spin So Nice. On all platforms, socials, Twitter, Instagram, all the rest of it. And I will see you very soon. Thank you.